Hi everybody! Today I'm going to show you how I make an LOL surprise cake for my daughter. Here's what the cake is going to look like. My daughter's allergic to eggs, so I made the first tier of vegan chocolate cake. There's a link to the recipe in the description box below. So here I have my first tier baked, layered, and I'm frosting it with a crumb coat so it's ready to be covered with fondant. I also have my top tier baked and layered. I'm also going to frost this one and have it ready for fondant. And as I'm working on one tier, I have put the other tier in the fridge. So I have my fondant already colored pink for the first tier. I roll it out and I'm going to cover my cake with it. So as you can tell, the fondant doesn't actually cover the entire cake, but as you smooth out the fondant inch by inch, it ends up covering the entire cake, as you can tell, and then you just cut off the excess, like that. So to decorate the first tier, I'm going to use a pink ribbon to put on the bottom border. So I use a mixture of gum paste and water to attach the ribbon to the fondant. So I had some LOL doll images printed out on edible paper. So I rolled out some fondant to place the images on top of and to cut them out in the same shape. I think it'll look better on the cake than to have the images placed directly onto the cake. I think that it will have the images pop out and it'll look nicer like that. So now again, I'm going to use the gum paste and water mixture to attach the images onto the cake. And I will do that for each one by one. And here you have it. Tier 1 is complete and ready to work on tier 2. But first, we must put some dowels or some support on the first tier. So I used some boba straws and I just put in 4 boba straws to support my second tier. And then I'm just going to add some frosting to cover the holes and to get the second tier to stick to the top tier so it doesn't slide right off. Okay, so now to work on the second tier, I actually had my cake board a little bit larger than my cake. So before I cover it, I am going to cut off the extra part of the cake board with my X-Acto knife. And that way I'll have the board exactly the size of the cake. So now my second tier is going to be blue. I have that fondant already colored and I'm rolling that out to cover the second tier. So again, I'm just going to smooth out the fondant like I did with the other tier, inch by inch until I get down to the bottom. So now I have the fondant smoothed out to the bottom of the cake. I'm going to use my X-Acto knife and cut off all the excess fondant. So for the second tier, I also want to put the pink ribbon on the bottom border of the cake, but because the cake is covered in a blue fondant, the sheer pink ribbon will not look as nice or in conformity as the bottom tier. So I'm going to roll out some pink fondant and I'm going to cut it the size of my ribbon and put that first. So I placed the pink fondant on the cake first. Then I add the ribbon on top of the pink fondant to make the border. Now to put the LOL logo onto the cake, I am rolling out the fondant again, and I'm going to attach the image onto the fondant with the gum paste and water mixture, and then I'm going to cut that out with the X-Acto knife as I did before. So I'm going to put some more of the gum paste and water mixture to attach the logo onto the cake. So I'm using the same fondant that I used to put the logo on top of, and I'm cutting out some little circles with a round tip, and I'm going to put them on the cake for decorations as like polka dots on the blue fondant. A few days ahead of time, I made the bow and the ribbon to put on top of the cake, and there's a link to the video of how I made it in the description box below. And now I'm ready to put the second tier on top of the first tier very carefully. And here you have it, my LOL surprise doll cake. And watch till the end to see my daughter's reaction when she sees her cake.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for watching, and if you like my tutorial, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos like this.